Welcome back to Mountain Connections. I am very excited about this interview to talk with Dr. Amy Hunt. She is the Chief Academic Officer at Park City School District. Very excited to have her. She's brand new here to Park City School District. Looking forward to finding out everything that she does in her position and excited to have her great experience here in Park City. Thanks for being here, Dr. Hunt.
Thank you.
So what exactly does a Chief Academic Officer do?
So a Chief Academic Officer is responsible for curriculum instruction and assessment in a school district. So I basically am working in teaching and learning and making sure that our students are getting equitable opportunities to learn and to grow and meet their potential.
You stated that so clearly and succinctly, but that's a huge challenge. How do you even approach that?
You know, I think that one of the things that we really focus on in Park City and are continuing to focus on is student data. So one of the ways that we really tailor how we teach and what we teach has to do with how our students are learning. And the assessments that we give help us to understand where there are gaps in the learning, where we're having successes, and how teachers can adjust to really be able to help support students. So data is chief opportunity for us to be able to do that.
Well, and then you can help the needs that the students have in our district, not just what does the research say, what is the new trends, what do our students need here in Park City? So what have you found?
Our students are like students everywhere, really. They need opportunities for deep learning. They need to be able to have experiences to think about things and not just memorize. They need opportunities to apply their learning, and really they need opportunities to be able to demonstrate their learning in their own interests as well. So we're really looking at how do we personalize learning, how do we help our teachers be able to use their expertise to meet students where they are and help them get where they want to go.
I read you're very interested in incorporating STEM, especially in the younger grades. How are you doing that?
So right now is a perfect opportunity for our school district because the state of Utah has just released the standards for science education in Utah. I myself have worked in clinical science and in genetic engineering and taught math and science, so I'm excited to see how these new standards really help incorporate science as a practice as opposed to just something that you memorize. So the standards are focused on helping students know how to ask questions around scientific phenomena, but more importantly to be able to realize how to find the answers to their questions. So it's going to be exciting this year. We're working on what that looks like in Park City School District so that when they're supposed to be fully implemented next year, we're ready to go. We're also trying to align that with our math instruction so that students are learning scientific principles at the same time that they can apply the math that's necessary to be able to use them.
I wonder if it'll get to the point where it's not math and then science and English, that it's a little bit more well-rounded and holistic in the classroom.
Yeah, you know, it's interesting. Learning is compartmentalized right now in our school systems, but we all know that learning isn't compartmentalized and that we use pieces of our background or information that we know everywhere, that we learn new things. So there's a natural fit between science and math, but there's also a relevant opportunity as a scientist to be able to know how to write, to explain your findings to the world.
And we're talking so much about students and their learning needs, which is essential. What about teachers? As things change, as you present them with new data, how are they getting the education to help change in their classrooms where they're already very, very busy?
Yeah, I have to say, first and foremost, I am so grateful for the teachers that we have in Park City School District. They are some of the hardest working, brightest, most connected, and really they care most about our students, which makes anything that they do so much more impactful because they're connected with students. We have professional learning opportunities. We have 1 day a week that's committed for teachers to be able to meet with other teachers within their discipline or within their grade level. And we're really trying to support them by giving them data and really best practices to be able to improve with students. And we're finding that we just have great staff, and it's, you know, that we have the same challenges that every school district does in working and learning with students, but we have very dedicated and committed teachers.
We really do. All right, I want to read your background because I was
Sure.
very impressed at the quality of individuals we have here in Park City School District. You were a science and math teacher, a high school assistant principal, middle school principal, and executive director of human resources and pupil services at a school district in California. So you're coming with all of this experience. How is that going to influence what you're doing here?
You know, one thing that's really important to me, because I served a lot in Southern California, I was the principal of a middle school on the border of San Ysidro and Tijuana. And one thing that's really important to me is to work with our Hispanic students here in the district. Some of our data indicates that there's a lot of opportunity for us to be able to help support families here and make sure that they're getting as much out of the learning experiences here that every student is. So one of my biggest goals is to make sure that we're creating equitable experiences for all students, so that every one of our students is meeting their potential.
Absolutely. You're new to Park City. How are you enjoying it here?
This is such a beautiful place, isn't it? I was actually raised in Utah, down south in Utah County in Mapleton. I don't know if our viewers are aware of Mapleton, but so it was nice to move home after being away for 25, 30 years, but it's beautiful here, and it's nice to come to work every day and see the great things that are happening here. The backdrop and the scenery is just one more reason to be in Park City.
Absolutely. How can we help you as parents, as community members with your job as the Chief Academic Officer, and in really helping integrate the students into great learning that they need?
Yeah, you know, I always tell parents and community members, never be afraid to ask your students, what are you learning? Because if the goal can be focused on what are we learning, then we really can make a difference for our students. When they have the opportunity to express and explain and articulate what they're learning, then it helps to deepen and solidify that learning, and it helps to make it meaningful and really relevant to what they're doing in their personal lives. So when you see a student, ask them, what are you learning?
It might take a few questions to get it out of them, but you'll get there.
You'll get there.
Well, thank you so much, Dr. Hunt, for joining us here today. It's a pleasure meeting you and excited to hear more about what you're doing further in the school year.
Great. Thank you for having me today.
I want to thank Park City School District for coming on today, and Dr. Amy Hunt, Chief Academic Officer here at Park City School District. We are very happy to have her and her experience here influencing the students and teachers at Park City Schools. We'll be back with much more right after this.